Alright, so you clicked on this video and you wanted to know how gregtech works. Well, in today's video, I'm going to explain to you guys how, the very basics of this mod, and in today's episode, I'm not going to explain the machines or anything, I'm going to explain the mechanics, and, I don't know, some about the machines, not really how to make them and stuff, but that'll be a next episode, but alright, let's get it right into it. Alright, first off, what you want to know about gregtech is it is separated into multiple tiers of voltages. And the first tier of voltage is low voltage, going all the way up to ultimate voltage. But the actual first tier machines that you're going to start using is steam. So you're going to start right in the steam age, basically. That is where this mod pack starts. And I'm going to explain in the next episode how that works, but for now I'm going to explain the mechanics of tools. And so basically these tools that you see, they're used to cut, saw, hammer down stuff to make plates and rods. Like if I go to plates, or no, in JEI I go to plates. So you can tell it's hammered down with a hammer. That's what a hammer does, you know. Wrench, configures pipes, puts stuff together. A wire cutter cuts wires. I guess you could say that. You can pick up wires easier with this. It's also used in other crafting recipes. A mortar is used for macerating items by hand instead of using a machine. A file is used to cut the ingots into rods. A saw is used to cut things, and a screwdriver is used in various crafting recipes. That is what all those tools do. Now, the next part of this is ore generation. The gregtech ore generation, how it works is there are going to be piles around the world that you can find, and these piles, you can mine them and pick them up. But I recommend that you don't do that because there's an ore vein actually below those ore piles, like these piles of dust. And if you dig right below those piles of dust, you'll find massive veins of ore in which you can mine a lot of resources, and usually these ore veins contain thousands of ores. But also, when you mine into this ore vein, you might be a little confused because the ore veins, the names of the ores in these ore veins are very realistic. Like if I go to copper, for example, see, and we go smelted, there's chapelcrate, malachite, tetra, I don't know, bornite, see. But the way to identify if it's copper or not is if it's Cu, you know. If you look on the periodic table of elements, it is that symbol below the ore, then you can tell what it is, basically. That's how you're able to tell if it's iron or copper. So if you know your stuff with the periodic table of elements, this plays a role in this mod pack. So that's some really useful knowledge to know. Alright, now that I've talked about the tools, it's now, and the ore generation, it's now time to talk about the versions of gregtech that exist. So first off, to mention notably, there is gregtech 1, which is a version of gregtech that pairs with Industrial Craft 2. And along with gregtech 2, gregtech 3, gregtech 4, and gregtech 5. They all go along with Industrial Craft 2. And then there's gregtech 6, which is a standalone gregtech based mod, which is developed by the guy who made gregtech himself. He's still working on that to this day, I believe so. And then there is gregtech Community Edition Unofficial, and then gregtech Community Edition. But basically gregtech Community Edition is kind of like an older version of Community Edition Unofficial. Community Edition Unofficial is what's being developed today in 1.12.2. And this is what I'm playing right now, gregtech Community Edition Unofficial, and this is the version that I recommend most people start on to understand this mod pack, because, yeah, and also I will give a download link in the description below for this mod pack that I'm using right now, which is called gregtech Community Edition Unofficial Community Pack. It should tell you how to play gregtech and all the basics of this mod, but I do want to explain some of the more advanced stuff that most people don't know about this pack. So I do want to explain that because I don't think Like the quest book is that good at this stuff. No offense. I kind of want to explain it to you guys though. Another thing that I like to mention about this mod pack is there is resource maceration. I forgot to mention that. So when you take like one normal ore, you can basically macerate it, and it turns it into 2 instead of 1. It gives you 2 ores when you macerate it, which is crushed. And you can take that crushed ore and you can smell it, but then you can also put it into a washing machine, an autoclave and stuff like this to separate it for like byproducts. Like you can get gold out of some of these ores, possibly, and stuff like that. You can just separate it a dozen times to get its resources. Alright, so I think that's going to be it for this video. That is the basics of gregtech. Like the very, very, very basics, like what you need to know. Yeah, those are just, that's it. Next episode, I'm going to be giving a guide of how to get through the Steam Age. I will do it in this world, of course, or I might actually make a world and play through it to show you guys how to do it. Yeah. I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe for more content like this, and as I always say, stay on fire.